Okay, what is up, guys? It is like Friday morning, and I'm actually awake today for class because I got a test later. But I wanted to get this out of the way and give my recap and review of the Bobby Brown story. Now, I've been waiting for this for since they gave out the promo in June, and I thought it was going to be on Monday, but it's actually going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I was kind of upset, y'all making me wait this long. But I ended up watching it. I watched part 1 on Wednesday because I had dance tryouts that night. And then I watched part 2, during the rerun because I know it's going to be home late. So I watched at 11:30. Y'all, this whole series, honestly, BET is getting good with the miniseries. They really are. So I'm just going to go through, the stuff I didn't know about Bobby and just, a mini, recap. I'm not going to go play by play. Just through everything. I literally wrote it down little sticky notes just to remember. So the first thing I didn't know about Bobby is that he had a lot of losses in his life. He lost his grandma, he lost his best friend as a kid. Him and Whitney lost their first baby. Then his brother-in-law got shot in a drive-by. Then in part 2, we see that he lost his parents within a year of each other. Then Whitney died a month after his dad died. Then Bobby Chris 3 years later. So it's just this man has been through it. He really been through it. It's really crazy because when you go through so much loss, it's crazy how he can come back after that. Because I remember my dad passing and my mom being a wreck and my whole family being a wreck. And I don't know how we survived that, but we did. But Bobby, he went through all of that in a lifetime. That's a testimony right there. The second thing I saw that he had was that he basically had no childhood. When New Edition started, he was around 12 or 13 years old. And then he got kicked out the group at 16. And by 18, he had gone solo. He had already had 2 kids. One with Kim, one with his friend from back in the day. Actually, no, the first one was a groupie. The second one was Kim from back in the day. And, he basically, had no childhood. And that's really just crazy. He had to provide for his family. He had to start selling dope. And it was just he had to grow up fast. And, it makes you realize that a lot of people who get into the industry at a young age, they have no childhood. Some of them are the breadwinners for their family, and some of them don't really get to live as a kid. Let me get to this whole Janet Jackson phase. The Janet Jackson era. Now, I did not read his book, so this was news. But this, came out, right before the premiere happened, the day of Tuesday. And it said basically, it had the scene with him and Janet kicking out Janet at the hotel room because it was in the trailer, but it didn't include it in there. Basically, Bobby was Janet's side piece while she was engaged to one of the DeBarge brothers, and she wanted to keep him a secret because he said basically her dad didn't want her to date black guys, and it kind of makes you want to believe it because when you look at the Jacksons and how Joe Jackson raised his kids, there's kind of a little eraser going on. I don't know. But Janet's people actually come out and deny this and say that it was just a flirtation. But honestly, if it's from 30 plus years ago, what's up with denying it? I mean, honestly, if I had dated a famous person, in college, and then, 20 years later, they come up with a biopic saying, oh, I was dating Simone for almost a year, I would be yeah, that happened. That was the phase of my life. That happened, I think because, you want to keep that good reputation going. It's just okay. Well, after that, Bobby said he wasn't going to date industry girls. And that was right when he met Whitney Houston. Now, him and Whitney. Whoo, Lord. Lordy. Him and Whitney. Honestly, truly loved each other. But they were not good for each other in a healthy way. Their relationship was very toxic, very violent. And they honestly painted Whitney so bad in this movie. Oh my God. They made Whitney very needy and emotional. And they made her a full-fledged junkie. And they even had the Diane Sawyer interview. Oh my God. They had the Diane Sawyer interview. And they reenacted the reality show. Oh my goodness. This was just crazy. And then we had Robin in the movie. Now, here's my little theory. I think the true tea of what really happened with Bobby and Whitney, Robin knows. And she's been sitting on it for years out of respect for Whitney because she has never come out without anything about the family or the Houstons in general. But honestly, I feel like we're going to get a tell-all book sooner or later in the next 5 years of talking about what really happened. Okay, so also, can we just point out, no disrespect, Bobby was kind of a thought. He was literally jumping on anything that moved. The thing I didn't know is that he actually got Kim and Whitney pregnant at the same time. And this is with Whitney's first baby that, passed. And, basically, right after they got engaged, he found out Kim was pregnant. And just oh, damn, that's just, oh, man, I'll be pissed off too. But they ended up getting married. They had Bobby Chris about 10 months later. And, they were both enthralled with drugs. And, people like to put Bobby to blame for getting Whitney hooked to drugs, but she had already been enthralled with that life because her brother introduced her to that at 14. 2 years after she passed, the brother came out saying, I felt like it's my fault. I brought her into drugs. Let me try to fix this light. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we're not going to do the light today. Okay, so basically, Bobby, he's been blamed for years for enabling Whitney, and he's admitted to enabling her, but he never brought on the drugs. Which also leads into part 2, where he gets arrested for violating his DUI probation, and he actually goes to withdrawal while in jail. It's really, really emotional. Honestly, part 2 is really dramatic and emotional. Part 2, he's going through with withdrawal. He is wanting to have a fix so bad, but he makes it through. He wants to get clean, but Whitney doesn't. So, I kind of see it like it is the reason why he got sober is because he ended up having a stroke after he was cooking crack in the house. I'm just first off, how do you know how to do that? It's crazy how people are so enthralled in the drug game that they know how to cook crack in their own home. I'm like, whoa, what? It's crazy. And then second, it's you're going to have to go through some really crazy stuff to get clean. I remember my mom having a cancer scare. It made her want to be sober and stop drinking. Honestly, you're going to have to go through that big, life or death situation to make you want to redo your life. All right, now, to cut to probably the scene that a lot of people are talking about. Basically, Bobby was going to do a show with his brother Tommy. He was going to go on the road during Christmas. He forgot something. He found Whitney with a dude. He initially thought she was cheating, but it was actually a dealer. And it shows that, yeah, Whitney was sneaking dudes in the house, but also she had dealers. And, that's how it was back then. Also, side note, I did not know Alicia was in the picture longer than we thought she was. As far as we know, she was Bobby's manager that came in later after, the divorce. But apparently they were friends back in the day. And she actually pep talked him into getting ready for his wedding because he had found Whitney doing a line. And it gives me a little bit of a sign. I was were y'all doing messing around during the marriage? Because both Whitney and Bobby were having affairs during the marriage. But honestly, I think that, she came on later because she was dating a record exec. So, yeah. All right, how much they get through? Toxicity. Okay. So after the divorce, he was being kept away from Bobby Christina. And what's really sad is that, you know, he wanted to get clean, but the situation was that, you know, she was being told that her father had left him, even though Whitney had taken her when she went to LA for rehab. So I understand why he felt that way. And I can honestly say from personal experience, like, I could see Whitney do that. And I know it's bad to talk about people who passed, but the thing is, when you go through something with several people, there's going to be different perspectives with it. And I feel like Bobby Christina, you know, she did not have a chance. You know, she had two parents who were enthralled in their addictions. Then they divorced and separated. Her mom, you know, she wasn't in the greatest of states. And she basically enabled her to do whatever she wanted. And that wasn't the best option. Okay, I'm trying to see what I wrote down on here. Okay, Bobby Christina was also exploited a lot after Whitney's death. Like, when you look at, like, the timeline events of, like, the year Whitney died, she was on Oprah a month later. She was filming the reality show a month after that. And even after her death, they ended up doing a biopic about her. And I'm just like, this girl was 22 years old, and she didn't accomplish a lot. She had her demons and addictions. Why do you need to make a biopic? And the only reason why is that people want to make money. And, you know, that's the really horrible thing about it. I mentioned how Bobby lost a lot in, like, his later years. And let me get to this funeral scene. Now, back when Whitney died, I remember it was the week after my birthday. And then the week after that, she had the funeral. The huge scandal that came out of there is that Bobby got kicked out the funeral. It was originally said that he left. He came in, kissed the casket, and left. But it was being said that he was kicked out the funeral. People tried to hide down the story. It wasn't until people who were at the service and even security were speaking out on it. Basically what happened is that he was given an assigned seat with him and his 3 kids. They sat down. Security told him that him and his entourage needed to go to the back. And he, you know, refused because, you know, that's Whitney. That's his ex-wife. Even though they were divorced, they were still close. She even came to his mom's funeral and sang some stuff with New Edition there. And they basically kicked him out. And when Chrissy came to the funeral with Bobby Christina came with Sissy and Pat, you know, he tried to, you know, see his daughter, but they wouldn't let him. And that's just, like, horrible. What happened after is that Bobby Christina and her father didn't see each other for a good 2 years until 2014. And it was actually revealed that she was supposed to come out to LA to start working on her music with her dad. And it gets you thinking, you know, what if she had left LA? What if she had left Atlanta, gone to LA, stayed with her dad? Would have been a different story. This also brings me to my next thing. Nick Gordon looks very suspicious. He looks like a prime suspect. Now, I remember Nick being thrown around when Whitney died, and I remember him being prime suspect when Bobby Christina died. I believe that it was a very abusive relationship. And, you know, I think Bobby has a right to be concerned because he was at both deaths while drowning. He was basically the errand boy that, you know, got Whitney, you know, her drugs, and he got Bobby Christina her drugs. So you kind of look at it and, like, have to say, like, it looks very suspicious. And, you know, Bobby had his concerns, and Bobby came up in that hospital in Atlanta because he had to get a phone call that his daughter had died. And the thing is, he didn't find out Whitney died until, like, the same time we all found out that night. That he found out when one of his bandmates, Johnny Gill, because he had found out everybody else online. So I'm just like, this man can't catch a break. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my phone is vibrating. So I want to get to the main part. Like, the main part is that his wife Alicia really did save him. His wife really did save him because he was going through so much in his life, and he would not have been able to beat those addictions if it weren't for his wife. I'm trying to like go through everything like I've written down. Like, honestly, when you lose both your parents, your ex-wife who was there for the good 15 to 16 years of your life, and then your daughter, that's a lot of pain someone can, like, that's a lot of pain to try to come back from. And Alicia was there for him, and she was there and saved him. You know, we get to the end of the movie where we see his actual son, Hendrix, dancing to his song, Every Little Step. So, you know, we see that Bobby Brown, he's survived, and he's made it. And he's really, you know, broadened his career. He has his food line. He's back with New Edition. Has his new wife and 3 more kids. He's still close to the free children. He's opened the Bobby Christina Foundation. You know, he's just survived and gotten through it. The casting, I say it was pretty good. Woody McClain. Bruh, if he does not get an Emmy for, like, TV movie, then I don't know. I really hope he gets an NAACP award, because his performance of Bobby was amazing. Just the fact that he got all that emotion, got all the choreography done, it was just awesome. Mekhi Phifer as his brother Tommy, he was good in that too. The girl that played Whitney, she was actually the chick from like the game, the baby mama from Derwin. She did like an okay job. She did like an okay job. I honestly thought like maybe they could have chose Demetria McKinney, but I think Bobby Brown is probably kind of still mad over the Bobby Christina biopic, so that's probably why he didn't like have her on the list. But yeah, casting was fine. I think some stuff was embellished, which isn't really surprising with biopics. So I honestly think some stuff was embellished, maybe, meh. But other than that, the BET did a really great job. Honestly, I think like with biopics, I probably want to see a Mary J. Blige biopic. Either Mary J. Blige, we already got TLC, we already had New Edition. I know we're never gonna get Destiny's Child's biopic. Like, no matter how much we beg, we're never gonna get that until like years after they're gone, because they keep stuff in so like hush hush. But honestly, I want to see some more R&B biopics. I want to see a Brandy and Monica biopic, like kind of like separate but not together. But I really want to see those biopics because Brandy, love her, grew up with her. Monica, she from the A, so we already know who she is. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of the whole movie. Let me know if you guys want to see another biopic of another artist, what you want me to review next. Anyway, it's your girl. Peace out. My love. Have a great weekend.